Hello students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is nutrition in plant, we were talking about that of how the conditions are there which is required for the process of photosynthesis. You see student, we have seen here that how plants, they get that of the food by the process of photosynthesis, and you see that carbon dioxide is there, water is there, chlorophyll and sunlight. All these are really very important in order to perform the process of photosynthesis, and plant used to obtain all these in organic raw material through different sources. If we talk about the carbon dioxide, it used to get the carbon dioxide through the process in which the minute pore, the stomata is there, and it used to absorb the food particles. It used to get that of the carbon dioxide through that of the stomata. If we discuss about the water, so it get water through the roots. So it is the root which help in providing the water to that of the leaves, where the process of photosynthesis can take place. Then we have seen here one more thing, and that is the presence of the sunlight. So we have seen that it is the sunlight which is captured by that of the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what, student? It is that of the green pigment, the green coloring matter which is present in the plant, help in performing the process of photosynthesis because it helps in trapping the sunlight. Sunlight is there which is stored in the food in order to complete the reaction, and it is stored in the form of energy, and this energy will get converted into the chemical energy. So it will be get converted from solar energy to that of the chemical energy. Now you see here. When we are talking about the chlorophyll, this chlorophyll is present in the leaves. Okay, so they used to perform the process of photosynthesis. But what about the stem? Does the stem used to perform the process of photosynthesis? Yes. There are plants which are non-green, which are does not consisting of leaves in it. So they used to perform the process of photosynthesis with the help of the stems. You see, xerophytic plants are there. Xerophytic plants are what? That are the plants which grows in the desert area. So they do not have a leaves in them. So their process of photosynthesis is carried by the stem. That green part of the plant consisting of the chlorophyll help in completing the process of photosynthesis. So we can say that the process of photosynthesis not only performed by that of the leaves only, but any of the part which is green in color, that consisting of a chlorophyll, and ultimately that will also help in making that of the food. What happened in case of amoeba, students? So amoeba is in case of algae. Algae is what? It is a slime, slippery organism is there, which you will find especially when there is a water retention. If in a water bodies, you will find a green color slippery body is there, and that is of algae. The algae used to float on the surface of the water. Now we never compare that with the algae to that of the plant, as if you see the algae, there is no differentiated root or a stem as compared to, means algae does not consisting of a root, a stem or the leaf, while in case of the plant, it consisting of a root, it consisting of a stem as well as that of the leaves. So this makes the algae differ from that of the plants. But algae, since it consisting of a chlorophyll in it, that's why it is green in color, and thus they used to perform the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so I hope you have understood here one thing, and that is the part which consisting of green in color, especially in that of the plants, that also perform the process of photosynthesis. Now if we discuss, we have seen that the resultant of the photosynthesis is what? It is glucose. So glucose is the simpler form of substance which is present in the plant and that will be utilized by the plant in the form of a carbohydrate because it gets stored in the form of starch. And the starch is what? Sorry, and that is also a carbohydrate. So is it that always the plant used to get the food in the form of a starch? No. Plant, not the glucose which is stored, it is not only stored in the form of a starch, not only in the form of a carbohydrate, but it is also stored in the form of a oil, in the form of a protein. So we have seen, if we talk about the starch or carbohydrate, the plant, the food which is stored in the plant, it is consisting of the, when it is having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, then it is stored in the form of a carbohydrate. There are plants in which the food is stored in the form of a oil or in the form of a fats, and like that of a mustard. So mustard seeds are there which consisting of the fats or oil in it. Sunflower seed is there which consisting of fats and oil in it. So these are what? These are the plants which in which after photosynthesis glucose is not stored in the form of a starch but it is stored in the form of a oil. Okay, so this is about that how the oil is stored in the plants. Mustard oil, I told you about it. Now, not only this, one more thing is there, student. The fat, the constituent of the fat is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the constituent of the protein, the constituent of the carbohydrate as well as the fat, both is the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Moving on, and when we see that how plants uses the glucose in the form of a protein, so plant not only consisting, if we talk about the protein, so protein does not consisting of only carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, but it is also made up of nitrogen. Okay, so let us see that of the plants, that how they used to obtain the protein as a food. Okay. So plants makes protein as food. Okay, plants, they make protein as food. Okay, now you see here, student, he said that not only that of the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, protein also consisting of a nitrogen. So some of the glucose molecule is there, they used to combine, the carbohydrate used to combine with that of the nitrate mineral in order to make the amino acid which help in providing the protein to that of the plants. So we can write it here that plants combine with some of the glucose carbohydrate, made during photosynthesis, with nitrate mineral, to make amino acid which are then forms proteins. So basically what happened, the plants, they used to make the protein as a food. And how they used to make the protein, students? Since they need nitrogen, so they used to the carbohydrate which is formed, the glucose which is formed as a result of the photosynthesis, it combined with some of the nitrate minerals. These nitrate minerals, they used to get it from that of the soil. Okay, so they combine the glucose combined with that of a nitrate mineral, and finally this will help in the formation of the amino acid. Okay, so formation of amino acid also occur, and finally this amino acid help in forming the proteins. Okay, so by this method protein is formed, students. Now, if we talk about the protein, so you see that protein is what? Protein itself is a nitrogenous substance. It means this is that substance which consisting of a nitrogen in it. Okay, so protein basically consisting of a nitrogen, and see, plants are not able to make the nitrogen, or they are not able to get the nitrogen as it is, or we can say that the plants are not able to make the protein. So ultimately it is the soil which help in providing the nitrate mineral to the plant, with the help of which the plants makes the amino acid. See student, what I am talking about, you know that the plants, there are a lot of nitrogen is present in our atmosphere, but the plants are not able to take the nitrogen. Okay, so if they are not able to take the nitrogen directly from the atmosphere, how they will going to make the protein? Because we know that protein, it consisting of a carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Okay, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. These are the things which a protein consisting of. So all these things it will get from that of the carbohydrate itself, which is made up by that of the glucose. But it need nitrogen in order to make the protein. These things it will get it through that of the glucose itself, through that of the carbohydrate itself. But there is a need of this nitrogen also, and plants, they are not able to get the nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. So they used to get this nitrogen with the help of the soil. So it is the soil which help in providing the mineral, the nitrate mineral, and this nitrate mineral mixes with that of the carbohydrate, with that of the glucose, which is made up by that of photosynthesis, and ultimately this will help in the preparation, this will help in making of that of protein, students. Okay, so I hope you have understood that how plants used to make the protein. Okay, so plants makes the protein. Plants, the carbohydrate which is formed, it help in making that of a fat, it help in making that of the protein also, and starch, that is also a carbohydrate. Now we will see the next one, that is how plants, they help in making that of the vitamin. How the plants, they help in giving the vitamin as a food. Okay. Plants makes vitamins as food. Plants makes vitamins as food. So if we talk about the vitamins, they are a highly complex substance. highly complex substance. Vitamins are highly complex substances, and this is a very important nutrient for our food. Highly complex and very important for our food, students. Now, these vitamins are made by the plants. These vitamins are made by the plants, and the vitamins are contained in the fruits, in vegetables. These vitamins are contained in the fruits, vegetables, and cereals. This is contained in the fruits, in the vegetables, and in the cereals. So plants makes the vitamin as a food, and vitamin are important word and stored in all these part of the plant. So you see, student, we have seen here the plants not only provide the carbohydrate, but it also helpful in providing the providing that of the fats, in protein, and that of vitamin. We have seen in case of a fat that we will get through the oil, so it is stored in the same form, that is carbohydrate, that is the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. You know that the carbohydrate and fat consisting of a same constituent, so it is that of the glucose only which get converted or which help in forming that of a fat. In case of a protein, along with that of a carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, it needs nitrogen, and it get nitrogen from it is not able for them to get nitrogen from the atmosphere, so they take the nitrogen in the form of a mineral nitrate from the soil and combine with that of the carbohydrate, and ultimately help in the formation of the protein. Plants also makes vitamin as a food. Okay, so this vitamin they obtain it from the different parts like that of the fruits, vegetables, or that of the cereals, students. Now we will move on and we will see the next point. So you see, we will see that what is the importance of photosynthesis. Okay. Importance of photosynthesis. What is the importance of photosynthesis? So the first one is, you know that photosynthesis is very essential for the life on the earth. Every organism, they are directly or indirectly dependent upon that of the photosynthesis. You know that all the nutrients are provided by the process of photosynthesis. So ultimately, it is the photosynthesis which help in the survival of all the living organisms. So let me write you that what are the different reasons by which we can say that the photosynthesis is very important for us. So the first thing, that it helps in providing food not only to the plants but also to the human being. Okay, so it helps in providing food not only to the plants but also to that of the human being. You know that help in making that of the carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate will be used by the animals, by the human beings also. Okay, so that is why we can say that it is essential for all the organisms, since it provides food to all the organisms. Now, second one, you know that the result of the photosynthesis is not only that of the carbohydrate, but it also helps in releasing the oxygen gas. And you know that the oxygen gas is really important, since oxygen will, you know that oxygen is important for the survival of all the animals. For the process of respiration to take place, oxygen plays a major role, or we can say that it is the oxygen with the help of which the process of respiration can take place. So we can say that the result of photosynthesis is the result of photosynthesis is oxygen, which plays a major role in respiration. So it plays a major role in the process of the respiration, and that is why it is important. Okay. Now, these are the importance of the photosynthesis. Now, you can see here, we have discussed the importance on the basis of the result only, student. The first result is carbohydrate, which is used in the form of food, and the second result is oxygen, which is used in the process of respiration. Now, we have discussed the two modes of nutrition, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. But there are some other mode of nutrition is also there, and that is saprophytic nutrition, parasitic nutrition. Okay, so let us see some other modes of nutrition. Other modes of nutrition. Okay, so there are some of the organisms which dependent on the other organism, and they used to eat the other organism when whether they are the dead one or they are the living organism. Okay, so we can write it here that depending on the obtaining food by the heterotrophs, by the heterotrophic, or we can say that depending upon the obtaining food, the heterotrophic plants are categorized or divided into parasite, saprophytes. Parasites and saprophyte. Okay, so we can say that there are two modes of nutrition is there, that is parasitic mode of nutrition and saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, so let us start with the first one, and that is parasite. Parasite, students. So what are parasites? Parasites are actually those organisms which use to obtain their food from the other living organism without killing it. Don't get confused with the parasite and the carnivores. Carnivores are those who used to obtain the food from the other by killing that particular organism. But here, the parasites, they used to obtain the food from the living organism without killing it. Okay, so parasites. Let me write the definition of the parasite, and that is a plant or an animal. It can be anything, student. A plant or animal which live inside, which lives on or inside, which lives on or inside another organism. And derives the food from it, that we call as a parasite. Okay, so all those non-green plants, basically they used to obtain food from the other organism. So those non-green plant obtain food, those non-green plant, those obtain food from other plants are called plant parasite. These are called as a plant parasite or simply parasite. Now, when they are living inside to that of the other living organism, that other living organism, we use a term for it, that is host. So we can say that here the other living organism is a host. The other living organism on which plant feed called host. So what is a host? On which the other organism used to attack or used to take the food from it, that is called as the host, student. So even in the plants also there are parasites, plant parasite or simply parasite is there, which used to obtain food from the other plant. Okay. Now here what happened in case of a plant parasite, there is a one thing, and that is the parasite plant used to climb on the other plant from where it have to obtain the food. Okay, so parasite plant climb on the host plant from where it have to receive food, and then with the help of the root only it used to absorb or it used to take all the food material from the other plant. Okay, so it produces a certain type of a root. We can write it. It produces certain type of root to suck the food material. To suck the food material from it. Okay. So it used to climb on the other plant from which we have to absorb or take out that of the food material. Or now how it used to do? It used to produce a special type of a root which help in sucking that of the food material.